Yeah, welcome to Word on the Street.
Welcome to Word on the Street, where we bring you hot topics. Now today, we're gonna do a small, intense, awesome study here on the history of the Jewish man. Alright, now Wikipedia is not hiding the information. Now I went over this information and it's factual, and it goes hand in hand with the books that you can read regarding the same subject. Now, how did the so-called Jewish man become the Jewish man? All right, let's see the history of the so-called Jewish man today. Now, this is King Bulan of Khazar. Alright, so let's see what it entails. Bulan was a Khazar king who led the conversion of the Khazars to Judaism. Alright, his name means elk or heart in Old Turkic. So that goes hand in hand with the movie The 13 Tribe. The book The 13 Tribe. In the book, it entails that the Jewish man is, let's go to this information. The 13 Tribe, author, if I say this wrong, don't crucify me, Kostler. Alright, so let's read a little bit of the book and see what it entails. And then we're gonna go back to the history of the Khazars. Alright, so check it out. It says in the 8th century AD, alright, and that's what we just saw. One kingdom stood alone between the threatened Christian Byzantine Empire and the advancing crescent of Arab power. Its kings, plural, were brilliant in diplomacy, its army fearless in battle, its influence on Western history immense, and its religion was Jewish. Alright, the 13 Tribe. Are today's West Jews really ethnic Semitic, biblical Jews? Or are most of them descendants of converted Khazars? You do not have to be Jewish to be interested. Edmund Fuller of the Wall Street Journal. So is Mr. Edmund Fuller anti-Semitic? Alright, let's look him up. Okay, Edmund Fuller, Wall Street Journal. Let's look up this guy. Okay, Edmund Fuller, Wall Street. Alright, Edmund Fuller, Wikipedia. Let's see who is this guy. Alright, he was born on March 3rd, 1914, and he passed away in 2001. Was an American educator, novelist, historian, literary critic. Fuller directed plays at Longwood Garden, taught screenwriting at School of okay. Let's see do they have a picture of him? Okay. He did a lot of great works. Let's see if we can find a picture of this guy. Image. Yep, this is him. This is Mr. Fuller. Alright, so is he anti-Semitic, Mr. Fuller, from the Wall Street Journal? So let's see right here. We was reading about the Khazars. So let's continue. Bulan was a Khazar king who led the conversion. So this is how they became Ish. Ish is to pertain to. Alright, so let's look that up also. Let's look up Ish meaning. Ish. Okay, having the qualities or characteristic of. Let's look more deep into this. Alright. Sweetish. Yellowish. Alright, let's go down here. Let's go to the Merriam Dictionary. Boyish, the characteristic of. Alright. Alright, let's go down here. So he converted the Khazars to Judaism. His name means elk. The date of his reign is unknown, as the date of the conversion is hotly disputed. So the date of the conversion to Judaism is highly disputed. Though it is not certain that Bulan reigned sometime between the mid-8th and 9th century, nor is it settled whether Bulan was Belk or Cajun or Khazars. Let's see what this is. Belk. Okay. Turkish. Alright, so we digging deep. Alright, so let's read this. Traditionally applied to people with specially lineage to leaders or rulers, various size, numerous Turkish kingdoms, emirates, sultanates, and empires of Central Asia, South Asia, Middle East, such as the Ottomans, the Ottoman Turks. Alright, so let's go back. Alright, so we just read that though it is not certain that Bulan reigned in the sometime between the 8th and 9th century, nor is it settled whether Bulan was a Belk or a Kongan, I guess that's from Genghis Khan, or a Khazar. The renowned scholar D.M. Dunlap was certain that Bulan was the king of the Khajans, and it is the Khwahans is the title of the emperor ranks of the Turkic, Mongolic, and some other languages, equal to the status of emperor and someone who ruled the Kongnite Empire. The female equivalent is Kongtun, if I said that wrong. However, most recent works, such as The Jews of Khazaria by business students, researchers Kevin Brook assumed that he was a Belk, so a Turk, due to the reference to him leading military campaigns. Khazar tradition held that before his conversion to Judaism, Bulan was religiously unaffiliated. So they didn't have a religion. These people who claim to be us. Alright? In his quest to discover which of the three Abrahamic religions would shape his own religious beliefs, he invited representatives from each to explain the fundamental tenets. In the end, he chose Judaism. So he had to choose between Muslims, Christianity, and Judaism. And he chose Judaism. In Khazar correspondence, King Joseph traced the lineage back to Bulan. He refers to the reforming Khazar ruler Obadiah. So they even used the names out the Bible, because you can see it right here. Successor Obadiah, as being one of the sons of the. Alright, let me see where I'm at. My eyes. Alright, the sons of Bulan. While Brooke assumed this made Obadiah Bulan's grandson. The Hebrew phrase is less definitive and may allude to a more remote descent. The royal descendants of Bulan are referred to by Khazar researcher as Balanad or Balinese, where were the rulers of the dynasty Khazar Khanate during the 9th century and 10th century. Alright, though their self-destination is unknown, the name Subrul is given to Spencer letter. If I said it wrong, forgive me. Alright, was discovered in Cairo by Solomon Spencer, roughly with King Joseph's letter. Alright, the Khazar king who led the conversion to Judaism. Alright, so we just read, and this is on Wikipedia. You can look this up. King Bulan was a convert. He converted all his people to Judaism. Alright, so this is 100% fact, without a doubt, proof that they are not the real Hebrews. You know, facts are facts. But let's go back to this book by the 13 Tribe. Now, the second reference we have, it says coastal marshals the evidence in a clear and convincing way, telling a good story, pulling together material from medieval Muslim and Jewish travelers and the mysterious lore of the Khazars. Raymond Sokolov in Newsweek. So is he anti-Semite? Because he's agreeing with everything Kanye said. All right, it says fascinating, a glimpse not only into the neglected part of Jewish history, but European history as well. Robert Kursk, the LA Times. All right, a compelling and important contribution. Hartford Times. We once more. All right, we are once more in Arthur Koestler's depth. Saturday Review. So these are people who agree with Kanye and Kyrie Irving and me. So let's go. we're gonna take a look inside this book, the 13th tribe. All right, and we're gonna see the rise of the Khazars. So that is the beginning of the book. All right, let's see what it entails. It says rise. All right, about the time when Charlemagne was crowned emperor of the West, the eastern confines of Europe between the Caucasus and the Volga were ruled by a Jewish state known as the Khazar Empire. At the peak of its power, from the 7th to the 10th century AD, it played a significant part in shaping the destinies of medieval. All right, so this is gonna get deep, and consequently of modern Europe, the Byzantine Empire, and historians. So the Romans with the Khazars is the one who ruled this empire. All right, Constantine, 913 to 959, must have been well aware of this when he recorded in his treatise on court protocol that letter addressing to the Pope of Rome a similarly those to the Emperor of the West had a gold seal worth 2 solid attached to them. Okay, whereas messages to the king of Khazaria display a seal worth 3 sadia, whatever that is. I gotta look that up. All right, this was not flattery, but real politic. In the period with which we were concerned, wrote Blurry, it is a probable. Let me open that up bigger. It is probable that the Khan of the Khazars was a little less important in the views of the imperial foreign policy that Charles the Great and his successor. Hope I read that right. All right. The country of the Khazars, the people of Turkish stock. So the country of the Khazars, the people of Turkish stock, occupied a strategic key position at the vital gateway between. Oh Lord, let me go back. Wow, what's that? Okay, gateway between the Black Sea and the Caspian. Slovakia. All right, our investigation cannot go into problems pertaining to the history of ideas, but we must call the reader's attention to the matter of the Khazar kingdom state religion. It was a Jewish faith which became the official religion of the ruling strata of society. Needless to say, the acceptance of the Jewish faith as the state religion of the ethically non-Jewish people. So they ethically not non-Jewish people could be the subject of a interesting speculation. Let's read that again. Needless to say, the acceptance of Jewish faith as the state religion of a ethnically non-Jewish people, okay, pertaining to the Khazars, could be the subject of a interesting speculation. We shall, however, confine ourselves to the remark that this official conversation, in defiance of Christian proselytizing by Byzantinism, all right, The Muslims' influence from the east, and in spite the political pressure of these two powers, the region, which had no support from any political power but was persecuted by nearly all, had come to as a surprise to all historians concerned with the Khazars, and cannot be considered as accidental, but must be regarded as a sign of the independent policy pursued by that kingdom, which leaves us only slightly more bewildered. Why I keep skipping? Leave us slightly more bewildered than before, yet whereas the source differ in minor details, the major facts are beyond dispute. What is in dispute is the faith of the Jewish Khazars after the destruction of their empire in the 12th, 13th century. So this is the persecution they went to. Okay, on the destruction of their empire in the 12th, 13th century. On this problem, the sources are scant, but various late medieval Khazar settlements are mentioned in Crimea, in the Ukraine. Oh my God. So in the Crimea, in the Ukraine, in Hungary, Poland, and Lithuania. So now these is all the places that that's going to war right now. All right. So Crimea, Ukraine, Hungary, Poland, and Lithuania. The general picture that emerged from these fragmentary pieces of information is that of the migration of the Khazar tribes and communities into the region of Eastern Europe, mainly Russia and Poland, where at the dawn of modern age, the great concentration of Jews were found. This had led several historians to conjecture that the substantial part, and perhaps the majority of the Eastern Jews, and hence the world Jewry, might be Khazar. So this is how the white man came up with this conclusion. All right. So in the 8th and 9th century, they converted to Judaism. Now we like in the 13, 14 right now, I believe, when we speak in this part of the book. All right. So, and perhaps majority of the Eastern Jews, and hence the world Jewry, might be Khazar and not Semitic origin. So the white man know that. The far-reaching implications of this hypothesis may explain the great caution exercised by the historians in approaching this subject, if they do not avoid it altogether. Thus, in 1973 edition of the Encyclopedia Judaica, an article Khazars is signed by Dunlap, but there is a separate section dealing with Khazar Jews after the fall of the kingdom, signed by the editor and written with the obvious intent to avoid upsetting believers in the dogma of the chosen race. So let's read that again. The far-reaching implications of this hypothesis may explain the great caution exercised by the historians in approaching this subject. So they have to be with caution. They don't want to hurt their feelings. and they did not avoid it altogether. Thus, in 1973 editions of the Encyclopedia Judica, an article Khazars is signed by Dunlap. So Dunlap, and there is a separate section dealing with the Khazar Jews after the fall of the kingdom, signed by the editor and written with obvious intent to avoid upsetting believers of the dogma chosen race. All right, the Turkish-speaking Karaites, a fundamentalist Jew sect of Crimea, Poland, and elsewhere, have affirmed a connection with Khazars, which is perhaps confirmed by evidence from folklore and anthropology, as well as language. There seems to be a considerable amount of evidence attesting to the continued presence in Europe of the descendants of the Khazars. How important in quantitative terms is the presence of the Caucasian sons of Japhet in the tents of Shem? So how important in quantitative terms is the presence of the Caucasian sons of Japhet in the tents of Shem? One of the most radical proponents of the hypothesis concerning the Khazar origin of Jewry is the professor of medieval Jewish history at Tel Aviv University, A.N. Palat. His book, Khazaria in Hebrew, was published in 1944, before the Jewish state was set up, all right? And Tel Aviv, the second edition, in 1951. In his introduction, he writes that the fact demand a new approach both to the problems of relating between Khazaria Jewry. All right, so in the introduction, he writes that the fact demands, let's go, the facts demands packed their tents, left their houses, and sallied forth with their sheep and cattle into the steppes or camps in their cornfields and vineyards. The excavation also showed that the kingdom was, during the latter period, surrounded by an elaborate chain of fortification dating from the 8th and 9th century, which protected its northern frontier facing the open steppes. These fortresses form a rough semicircle arch from the Crimea, which the Khazars ruled for the time. So they from Crimea, all right, across the lower reach of the Donets and the Don to the Volga, while towards the south they were protected by the Caucasus, right, Caucasus Mountain, and west by the Black Sea, and east by the Khazar Sea, the Caspian. All right, so we're gonna leave it right there. So this is proof that the you-ish man is Khazar. So we started all the way from the Wikipedia history of King Bulan. You know, if you want to read more into this on your own, go check it out and do some cross-referencing. All right, look, Turkic ruler converted to Judaism from paganism. Khazar rulers, 9th century rulers of Europe, Jewish monarchs, 8th century Jews, 9th century Jews. So if you click on converted from to Judaism from pagan, oh my God, we get deeper and deeper, and we could keep on digging. Look, Bulan was the king who led conversion of the Khazar to Judaism. His name means elk. We just read that. Yeah, so thank you for watching Word on the Street, and I'll be bringing you more insight and studies real soon. So hit the like, subscribe, help your boy get my subscribers up, and peace. Thank you for watching Word on the Street.
Yeah. Looking for blood on the street. Struggle. Hard times in my community. Yeah. Word on the street. Word on the street. Yeah. Word on the street.